again to Harry Potter and the Overdone Plot Devices by Citygirl1116. In this one we explore chapter 6. Well, in order to write this chapter I wandered around a bit reading some Draco Hermione fics. I won't name any names, but there are some bad ones. For this chapter, you should direct your anger at Washington Metro You should direct your anger at Washington Metro Area Transit Authority because they pissed me off in a number of ways today. Chapter 6, or Hidden Love, or Secret Passion, or Hidden Secret Passionate Love. All the titles are roughly the same. Hermione was very excited to return to her 7th year at Hogwarts, especially because she was head girl, obviously. Over the summer, she had gotten a makeover with the help of her American cousin. She was now absolutely stunning, and was going by some sort of hideous and out-of-character nickname like Hermione or Maya or something, because Hermione is not a cool enough name for the author. She was also happy to see her best friend, Harry Potter, and her friend who has been in love with her since 2nd year, but that is going to be completely ignored for this fic, Ron. But as Harry and Ron talked about Quidditch, because that is always what they do when Hermione needs to have a long, soulful internal monologue, her eyes drifted involuntarily to the Slytherin table, and she saw him. She was not sure exactly when she had fallen in love with Draco Malfoy. Maybe it was that time he called her a mudblood, or that other time he called her a mudblood, or that time he made fun of her, or that time he cursed her, or that other time he called her a mudblood. She wasn't sure, but she was sure of one thing. She loved him desperately with every fibre of her being. Her summer had been an agonizing agony of darkest despair without the sight of his aerodynamic hairstyle, his cold eyes. Note, Draco's eyes are never colours. They are always temperatures. His smug and sneering expression, his incredibly sculptured rippling muscles, and did she mention his muscles? You could grate cheese on those. Hermione, why are you looking at that huge Git Malfoy? Ron asks, rudely interrupting her melodramatic and out-of-character wistful pining. He's not a Git, Ron, she insisted, becoming irrationally angry. Although there is absolutely no evidence to support it in canon, I think he's really just tragically misunderstood and abused by his deliciously evil father. Looking around haughtily, he caught her eye across the hall. For a moment she was frozen, staring into their icy, frigid depths, and then his lips parted and he mouthed, "Mudblood." Hermione's heart melted. She began to weep, while Harry and Ron tried to comfort her in a totally platonic way. Meanwhile, at the Slytherin table, Draco was sneering and posing for all he's worth. He is acting even more smug than usual because he is now head boy. But nobody saw that one coming. Draco, what did you do this summer? Asked Crabbe or Goyle. Mostly I went torturing and killing muggles with my father and was horribly abused. First we censored, and then censored, and then we censored with a censored and a llama. Wow, I wish my dad was as cool as yours, sighed Crabbe or Goyle wistfully, before remembering it was not appropriately thug-like to be wistful. And now you're head boy, said Crabbe or Goyle. Too bad you're going to have to work with that mudblood. Yeah, agreed Draco, though inside he was disagreeing strongly. Oh, the torture of having to keep up appearances, to have to pretend to be the evil heir of the evil servant of the evil overlord. For a while Draco kept up the appearance of a good Slytherin. Inside he was not a bit evil, but nice and sweet and slightly effeminate. He did not really want to follow his father into the family business of death and destruction. He did not really want to follow his father into the family business of death and destruction. He just wanted to open a bakery. He would have looked wistful, but then everyone would see through his evil bastard disguise. Yes, Draco was no longer truly the sneering, nasty little punk that he had been in canon, because this was fanfiction, and he had been transformed by his secret, hidden, overwhelming love for Hermione Granger. He gazed longingly across the great hall, and spotted her longingly sitting at the Gryffindor table, longingly. Insert 7 pages of nauseating description of Hermione's enchanting, enthralling, and exhilarating beauty. Be impressed by the author's use of alliteration. Suddenly, she looked towards him. Their eyes met, and Draco felt as though fireworks were going off in his heart. He felt such a rush of passionate longing it was unbearable. Such pain, such agony, such longing. Oh why must my father be so sadistic and abusive, he wept. Crabbe Goyle and Crabbe Goyle looked at each other in confusion. Draco? I shall tell my father about having to work with that mudblood. Certainly he will not stand for it. But inside his heart was breaking. It's so hard to be a misunderstood evil minion in training. When dinner was finished, Dumbledore said something wise and deep and meaningful that the author will leave out because she can't actually think of anything wise and deep and meaningful. Then, as the students were leaving, he asked to see the head boy and head girl. Draco quickly switched from his expression of wistful longing to his expression of sneering and contempt. Since I have predictably made you Hermione head girl, and inexplicably put someone like you, Draco, as head boy as part of a contrived plot device, you will not be living in the regular dormitories, since the head boy and girl have a special place to live, and despite the fact that it is wildly inappropriate and will never happen, you will be sharing a huge and ridiculously fancy room. Much drama ensues as Malfoy and Hermione have lots of staged arguments where they throw unoriginal insults at each other to cover up their true feelings of love. Finally, in a nauseating scene that will include much weeping and angst and flowery language, they confess their secret love and snog enthusiastically. Readers hope the author is too young to be comfortable writing smut, because otherwise there will be a truly horrible sex scene with truly horrible dialogue, and even worse description of anatomy that will make us all cringe. But all will not be happily ever after. Lucius Malfoy, in all his delicious evilness, has a very evil plan to break up the tragic, angsty young lovers. Mwahaha! He cackles manically for dramatic effect. I will kill Hermione Granger so that my son will become bitter over his lost love and want to become evil like me, he says with an evil toss of his hair. I am going to uncharacteristically defy my father and take the side of my secret love Hermione, cries Draco defiantly in a very rebellious and defiant way. I refuse to be evil and be drawn into your evil life of evilness. He confronts Lucius in a dramatic confrontation with Hermione steadfastly by his side, and they somehow, how exactly is never explained, defeat Voldemort and all the evil in the world with the awesome power of their love. Epilogue. They move to a sunny, happy, joyful place in the country where they have many adorable, cute little babies. Ideas for the next chapter?